Welcome to this journey where we dialogue with thought and heart leaders to share their reflections on human condition and how to improve them.
Can you share a little bit about Jai Jagat that is happening right now, and what is it? Why, like, what's their mission, and where all you guys are planning to travel?
Thank you. Hemant, our ancient Vedas talk about Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. In the Sanskrit, you convert into simple, world is one family. So I used to get a lot of curiosity about that. And then once in our family conversation, it came out that was in Vedas, but more in a simpler term. Satish Kumar said once, Sarve Jana Sukhina Santu. Mane Sarva Log Sukhi Ho. And he talked about that why we are calling Bhagavad Gita as Hindus. Book, I don't know. Because in entire Bhagavad Gita, there is no talk about Hindu word ever. It's for every human being. So when he says Sarve Jana Sukhina Santu, it applies to everybody. It doesn't apply to only Hindu, doesn't apply to Muslim, doesn't apply to Christian. Not like that. And then he connected me with Gandhiji's word Sarvodaya. The meaning of Sarvodaya is Sarva ka Uday ho. So again we are talking about every human being. And in that journey, when Vinobaji was doing his Bhudan movement, people in Maharashtra will say Jai Maharashtra. People in Karnataka will say Jai Karnataka. Tamil Nadu will say Jai Tamil Nadu. And Vinobaji cautioned these people and said, you cannot be happy in isolation. Then he coined the word called Jai Jagat. So the word Jai Jagat came from the same, in a way, extension of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam from Vinoba's Bhudan walk. So one of my friend, when I was just back from South Africa walk, saying, Yogesh, are you aware of there is Jai Jagat walk happening? I said, no, I have no idea. He said, they are walking for 1 year from Delhi to Geneva as a part of Gandhi's 158th year celebration. Okay, you should join that walk. I said, who are those people? Can you connect? And he gave me number of P.V. Rajagopal and said, Yogesh, you look at website also. So I looked at website and found to be interesting. And putting very frankly, I had by this time attempted 4 or 5 times for getting Pakistan visa. But it didn't happen for whatever reason. So I saw a bright chance here. When an organization is going, that will happen. And I could see first visit was to Pakistan and Afghanistan. Both were pending in my dream from long time. So I said, jate hain. So I connected with P.V. Rajagopal and engaged well. And he asked for my profile, so which I had sent him. So he welcomed very warmly and said, Yogesh, please join us. And very brief talk on phone, and he sent me a form. And I saw the form which said pay $20 per day while you walk. So I multiplied 365 into 20 days and blah blah. I said, this is not my cup of tea. But not question of quantum, I can get sponsorship from somewhere. But as I had already tested walking without money and the value of walking without money, trusting universal energy and go about, I said, this will be a big deviation, so I don't want to join. I don't want to go. So I wrote him, no, I'm not going to join you. And a call came back, Yogesh, why? I explained him my thought process behind that. And he himself being such a far more matured and more attached to Gandhi value, he could connect it very well. And I'm so happy, I'm short of words to explain that he agreed to change the entire model of walk based on our conversation. He said, we'll invite now Adivasi activist youth who can't afford money. Otherwise, this would have been walk with people
Who can actually
afford that.
They are okay with the idea of paying in.
Yeah. So I'm so happy that today this model, as we know of, Yatra is on 74th day today. We have 15 Adivasi youth, 15 Adivasi farmers walking with us. The 30 people probably had never dreamed of going out of India. They had no passport. Getting passport for them was itself a challenge. But they were doing enormous, amazing work. So maybe directly, indirectly, I'm so much grateful that Divine made me instrument of putting these guys. And yes, there is 15 people from international 6 countries. And they are also kind that they are contributing a little bit extra, which will help these people. So we took a model of we getting funding from outside. From a,
Rather than making mandatory.
yeah, mandatory for people to contribute. And especially for people who are from India. And we'll say we'll talk to donors, we'll talk to Gandhian people who supports value, and we'll get money, but we'll do this.
So I also looked up Jai Jagat's body of work a little bit. I couldn't study them more. But I think there are essentially around 4 pillars. One is around eradicating poverty.
Yeah.
One is about respecting and living in balance with the environment. Third is peace, I think. And there's one more.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Indifferences. Today there is a section of society who has no way to count how much money they have. And there is a section of society who has not even close to wear. So how you can reduce that gap? Sure. If you look at Gandhian values, these are the 4 way it's put in this. And I think in a way I'm very happy and very grateful that if you look at UNO Charter, it says very clearly, whatever you do, think about how it's going to impact a last man, which was the way Gandhi had put up. Today most of the laws are decided with majority in mind. Here is not majority, the last man. So that's where both are very linked, closely linked. Poverty. Today, if you say India has 73 years of freedom, still there is a huge amount of poverty.
I'm also assuming that Jai Jagat would also be engaging interdisciplinary thinkers for exhaustive, comprehensive dialogue on these matters. Because in my own small way, when I have looked at aspects of politics, economics, and society, I've seen that there is one aspect of having an ideal society or a better society or a good society, which has a good economy and a good politics. And it's another thing where we see the politics of the day, the economics of the day, and we don't know how to map them. Because when you actually get down to do what is going to happen on a day-to-day basis with different people, given that there is already a tailwind around the system which is already established, and I think organizations like Schumacher College and similar such organizations are also engaging in dialogues where they're inviting now thinkers to come up with solutions. So any thoughts around that you have?
Even frankly, first 2 points, removal of poverty and removal of indifferences was a question in my own mind. I said, like same you said, many thinkers are putting their minds and it's not getting solution. And we are trying to go globally, where India itself is a big problem. So how is it sensible? I had my own questions. So I asked Rajaji and the founders of this yatra. I said, what we are going to gain by going to, going to Geneva and, all that. And I understood, and when we talked about it, he says, today, let's take example IMF. Our neighbor is under big debt of IMF.
Yeah.
So they want to do a lot of things, but they cannot do because they are in debt of IMF. Their policies are indirectly defined by IMF. Similarly, World Bank. Similarly, UNESCO. So he says, many times our government is compelled by policies happen in Geneva. So if you can take a message and get those guys thinker to change those policies, probably then your countries are also free to decide within the limitation. But today, most of the countries, and especially in the area we are living, is developing countries or underdeveloped countries, where they are always on constantly pressure from outside. Right from IMF and World Bank is the largest example, where most of the policies are defined by them, keeping in mind the global need, and most of the policies are defined by developed countries.
Yeah. I think what he is hinting at is you have on one side these developed nations who formed their global organizations, the ones that you mentioned. Some of them are financial in nature in terms of providing aids and grants, and by providing them, they also tweak the policies of the nations, what you're saying. And the other are diplomatic channels, trade treaties that get negotiated in terms of the way the direction is taken. And also the politics of the day, because I think we are also seeing that globally. I mean, if you see the last 5 years, I remember till about 5-6 years back, people thought that the Western model of development is the model. It's established. You need to have democracy, you need to have free market, and you need to have balance of power between the democracy and the free market. But I think what is coming out, especially in the last 10 years, is that it needs a revision in terms of reimagining them. So I'm happy that Jai Jagat is moving in that direction. And my only wish and dream is that if they engage interdisciplinary thinkers from India and abroad, and not come up with pre-notions of some solutions, because I think we are in a very different time also. The complexities of the systems that we live in are different. And maybe being open to new solutions.
See, Hemant, I think I appreciate that. So this was first my own piece came that, yeah, we are moving in the direction. As I got in more and more in the yatra and started talking, many international friends are joining. As a matter of fact, our first training, integration training, was done by a couple from Canada. So we have, and he is the very known author on management side. So he came in. We had a team of delegation from ILC, International Land Coalition Organization, from 12 countries. So once I thought that, the land issues are in India only.
It's a global issue.
But it's a global issue.
In fact, your IT sector is now, blockchain is being talked about as a technology to ensure that the land records are not meddled with.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that was when so many countries came and talked about, even developing countries. I mean, so developed countries like Australia. He says, we have same issue. So that was also like a new revelation to me. As we go further, we have constantly, every week, some international guys joining and spending a couple of days with us. I'm saying international people from, again, developed countries like USA, Canada, and Jill, who is the wife of Rajaji, she's from Canada. So we have people from France, we have people from Switzerland, people from UK. So as we engage everyday dialogue with these guys, we understand with little variation, challenges are everywhere the same. Poverty levels are growing up in UK also, in US also, in Switzerland also. Percentage could be different.
Yeah.
Land challenges are across the world because price of land is growing up everywhere. Land mafias are active everywhere. Indifference is like,
inequality is...
It's a bigger challenge. It is growing more into open capitalistic market, like free market is leading to that, especially in US and Europe. Environmental challenges, again, everybody knows, and nobody wants to spend money and attention on that. So, biggest relief came to me that all these 4 issues are not local. It is not only Indian. It's a global issue.
Yeah, there are some global levers you need to move, and there are some local levers you need to move.
Yes.
Yeah.
So now it makes sense that yes, and again keeping in mind Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, taking this diverse group together also establishing platform for a constant dialogue, learning from each other, and taking matter forward as we move on. Various leaders come and welcome us in various cities, political people who are the decision makers, bureaucrats. In my life ever, in this last 70 days, number of IPS and IAS officer I have met, I would not have never met. All the collectors invariably. So there is a constant effort to build a bridge between a common man and a bureaucrat.
I'm sensing very good vibes of what you're saying, and sorry, you wanted to.
Yeah. No.
Oh, should I have something to add?
Yeah, but it's a little off topic. So you, like right now you spoke about diverse people coming together. Now, as a woman, I've grown up seeing a lot of challenges in relationships when I'm interacting with men of any age, at home, outside, in college, office, everywhere. So you yourself have 2 daughters, which makes me more comfortable to ask you, because just as a woman, to pose a question for a woman or for a human, that itself is very challenging. So I was wondering that since you walk so much, you walked around the planet, let's say, you might have seen that people who come to you maybe are mostly men of all ages, and women try to be on the outskirts or wherever you go. So you spoke about freedom that you offered your daughters as a value in life to stand by. So I'm sure not all daughters have received that, but I also wonder that when we are making so many changes in the world, somewhere women are always overlooked. That okay, you'll come secondary. Let's change this first, or let's change poverty first, because your rights can come later on. At least you get to eat and have a house. So I feel very called to stand up for myself first, then for my gender. Because as a human being, I feel very isolated and alienated in a man's world. So what would be your take on bringing peace when you say Vasudev Kutumbakam? I don't think I'm spelling that right. But when you say one family, how do you see half of your gender coming together as one family?
Thank you for the question. As I said, I try to give as much freedom to my daughters. We are just passing through era where use of tools wrong way, people identify gender before the child is born.
Correct.
So we were also part of that, right from when my wife was carrying second time. She was 40 plus. So we said we'll try and do a check where child is not defective.
Okay.
But doctors conventionally says, yeah, it's a female child. I said, so what? I was so clear on that. My only intention, but he says people say different things, but people come for that. So I said, I'm fine, child is a girl child, I have no issue. But when she's 40 plus, we think child should not be a deformed child. So we consciously welcome second daughter in our family. So for me, whoever is my son or daughter, what I gain, I wanted to pass on to them. So what freedom made me stand wherever I am today, I gave it to my daughters. To come to specifics, I ensure that I don't decide school for them, college for them, what education, what stream they decide. I'll fully stand by with them. So I went through enough flex, because when they see around their parents decide, their parents go to the colleges, they stand in queue and all that, I don't go. So I face challenge also, but I consciously put that you decide, take your call on your own. So made them stand on their own. A very specific example, last year when I decided to go to South Africa, which was after my 2 heart attacks. So my younger daughter was getting very upset. He says, Daddy, you're not listening to anybody. What is so much in your walk that you're not worried about your own life? And somehow there are no words came from my mouth. Melody khao, khud jaan jao. I told her that I can't put in words and explain what I gain of these walks, but they're very close to my heart. So she said, are you challenging me? I said, no, but I'm not challenging you. But some of the things I can't put in words. You need to feel yourself. So she said, I want to come and join your walk. I said, better 30 kilometers walk is not a joke. Is your body ready?
Every day.
Every
after
day, yeah. She says, at 62 you can walk. At 19, how can I not walk? I said, no, but you need to do practice. But she came out to be firm, reminded me next day, again next day. I said, initially I thought she's just, pushing me a little. But when she reminded me twice, I talked about that I'm going to talk to somebody to sponsor your ticket. But are you sure? She says, I'm sure. I want to come and walk and see what so much in that walk. So I got sponsorship through my Mastec organization, and she decided to join. So we were to walk. Typical my walk starts on 21st September, which is International World Peace Day. So we started from Pune home to walk to Bombay. So she joined us walking to Bombay, and she realized how easy or how tough it is. Anyway, she had a month in hand. She was to come for last 1 month in Africa. So this was like a
Trailer.
trailer pilot, whatever you say. So she realized walking is not that easy, and but she was pretty confident that ek mahina mere haath mein hai, in 1 month I'll do practice and come. So anyway, cutting long story short, so she joined us as we completed half-hour walk in Durban city. And we were at Gandhi's home. We were staying at Gandhi's granddaughter. And she said, Yogesh, good that she has come here, but let her stay with me 1 month. I'll take care of her. You guys walk. I said, why Didi, you're telling that? He says, in this country, anyway, we were been threatened by so many people, and press particularly. Every day 57 murder happens. Every day 1200 robbery happens. Why you guys are putting your life at risk and walking in this country? In that situation, we walked for a month. So Elaben Gandhi's granddaughter herself said, Yogesh, I salute you that you are taking Bapu's message and doing this thing. But this is not a country where a woman can walk, a young girl can walk. So we were sitting like this, 3 of us. I said, Beta, what do you want to do? He said, Daddy, what are you going to do? I said, I'm going to continue walk. And then I'll walk with you. I have not come here for resting here. I want to walk.
Like daughter, like.
Yeah. So Elaben was sitting next to me. He says, Yogesh, she is so confident, take her. My blessings are with you. You guys go. We were 7 people, 6 male, and she was a young woman alone, 19 years of age. Logistically, going in toilet publicly and all, it's a design of woman. But she was so confident, she walked. Went through challenges, physical challenges, nature call challenges, and variety of challenges. But she was very firm that I want to do and see what. When we closed our walk at Mandela's home, we went to Mandela's birthplace, where his great grandson come to receive us. Like in British, it's a mix of democracy and king. So Mandela came from a king family. He said, and I'll just quote his words. He says, Sir, I salute you. In our own country, we cannot walk ourselves. You guys put your life at risk and walk for our peace. So I salute you. And I offer my deepest gratitude to this young woman. She walked, which is not heard in this country. This much words of that guy made my daughter like almost in emotions. She just took it as a challenge and walked. With so much input coming negative from outside, she realized that what she has done is something very big. So that also gave me confidence that what, and on the way flying back, she just told me one thing, that Dad, now onwards, I will not stop you in any walk. So what the walk brings into society to me, she learned in that 1 month period. Coming back to your question in more specifics, I was so happy when I realized in this walk, out of these 50 people, 1/3 is international people, 1/3 is Adivasi youth, 1/3 is Adivasi farmers. And combined together, there are 16 women walking with us. And youngest is 21. So I was so happy to see a reflection of present society is in this. Normally, as you rightly put up, women doesn't do in this and they are on back end. But here, 1/3, what our government is trying to achieve, 1/3, 33% should be in parliament. This was actively working here. And this yatra was 50% managed by jail, 50% by Rajaji. So it was jointly managed, 16 women walking. All those gave me confidence that yes, we are in line with current trend. We are also adding value in that. And specifically coming little about Jai Jagat and clubbing answer on her question. When we are going into international very shortly, as we complete our India phase, one of the common man from Armenia had come some time back and got trained on non-violence. Just in a week's training, he got so much inspired. He went on in Armenia and did almost 4 years, 5 years of walk, connecting with common man. Today he is the Prime Minister of Armenia. Similarly, next country, and Armenia, Georgia, are all these countries got separated from USSR, those bigger Russia. So all have gone through very bloody time, any transition of power. So this was the last transition happened extremely smoothly, and he's managing today. So he's like icon of Gandhi living today in outside India. So Georgia is head is a woman prime minister. Trying to link your question. They have invited special parliament session for Jai Jagat Yatris. A woman doing that. Appreciating that. And there is a proposed, I'm conscious, proposed symposium on these 4 pillars of our walk. And where she has taken initiative to invite Indian government that can they send people, your Indian walkers are coming with this message of Gandhi, with these 4 pillars. So we are doing a symposium on this. Can Indian government send some people? So formally Indian government got to know about our work from outside, then we approaching them. So this yatra is going to get into very exciting platforms, and especially in Geneva. Geneva government has given special 5,000 people visa. 5,000 people visa, and we have modeled in such a way that we invited various countries, and almost 22 to 25 countries going to come with 5,000 people, converge into Geneva on 27th September 2020 when we reach there.
That's going to be the climax.
Yeah. And best part I like icing on cake. These 5,000 people will not stay in hotels. They'll be hosted by 5,000 families. So 5,000 families in Geneva city will get Gandhi's message, which is an enormous thing.
Very interesting.
So I'm seeing lots of intellectuals who are also now sitting on fences and border. And so far in 70 days, we have met so many politicians, so many bureaucrats. They're all looking at this with very curiosity. Many intellectuals. All these guys from India, we are expecting 700 people to join
in that
in that last part of Yatra.
the walk.
And 1 week, 27 to 2nd October, we have one session with IMF, one session with World Bank. So we share our experience of actually what we have seen on the ground for 1 year. Plus all these intellectuals around will add up its own contribution. So we expect it's a big moment. And informally, one of the young guy from press, without naming is the home, he did some study and said, how this yatra going to impact common man? And he's come out with a study that entire 1 year and the closing moments and such a big way in Geneva with so many international organizations is going to impact 18 million people. It's too satisfying thing. So we are at least impacting hearts of those people.
Yeah. So I can only wish, and all my vibes and wishes and interests are with you. And I'm sure we'll catch up in some near future and take forward some more stories that you will collect along the journey. Any other closing comments?
Hemant, as a closer, I would say I invite you to come and join at Geneva. Genuinely, it will be a good thing, and we'll work together to get some part of sponsorship or whatever required.
Sure.
I see a big value because I am also inviting some intellectuals who understand and see. See, many times, like part of my IT 30 years, seeing is believing. Same way getting into, then seeing from outside is a very different game. So I invite you to please come and join us.
Sure.
Look at possibility.
Sure.
And I'm sure as I'm meeting various people and as I'm going in Yatra, I learn a lot of new things. Like just close up on a thing, we stayed in a campus of very large university in Madhya Pradesh,
Yeah.
Vidisha. They were so much charged up, the entire management in just 2 days took action. They built up a peace park where 100 people we planted trees with our names there, and that entire area is being done as a peace park, and it is committed that that area will be plastic free. All the message what we are carrying will be planted in that. Not only that, they have a large park there, place in campus. They started Excellence Center of Peace in Higher Education.
Which is a very new thing.
Very new thing in India. As a matter of fact, I'm so delighted that Rajaji, who is our driver, P.V. Rajagopal, as he called, he initiated talk with Rajasthan government, and they have started a peace department formally in the government.
Very interesting.
Yeah. So I think many of this action also we are seeing happening every day
On the go.
on the go. Almost every day bureaucrats come and meet us, and some of the actual cases of land issues are resolved there and there itself, or at least initiated some action on that. So people are seeing value. People walk from 25, 30 kilometers just to give garland to us, or just to give memorandum to Rajaji. So it is not only talk in air. A lot of action happening at ground level. Every 10 days we stop. In last 9 days, how many youth we have met on the road? We invite them for a training program where we discuss and talk about actual non-violence practices, talk about action. And they also listen to real stories of these 50 people.
Right.
That's training in action. Also, we have international people come for integration training. Specialized experts in India come for integration training, because we are 50 people from completely diverse background. So our integration is happening, plus our learning is happening, plus youth training is happening. So a lot of things in this yatra is not yatra per se. Walk is becoming incidental. But on face of it looks walk is the main thing. Walk is becoming incidental. All other things adding up value to that. So I'm feeling blessed that I'm part of this yatra, and hope to completely participate that. And Hemant, as you are aware, I'm going to continue walking at least up to London. Satish Kumar ji of Schumacher College has agreed to welcome me. My master told me that come to London, so I'm going to go up to London. There are possibilities that I may extend up to US, but let's see how it goes about. So this is my life mission now, and I want to continue and do what I can do it. With fullest support from both daughters now, I am fully geared up and ready to take on the message of Gandhi to youth everywhere in the world. Thank you for your time, and I appreciate.
Thank you for your presence and experiences. Thank you.
Thank you.